yeah. Let her just be free. Let her just play around. Let her find her voice again in every sense of that sentence, you know? Britney Spears recently posted a video to her Instagram of her doing like a little runs and riffs situation, a little improv. Miley Cyrus commented vocalbible. Some people have been saying, oh yes, this is Britney's real voice. It's so good to hear her real voice again. Others have been laughing. But I'm thinking we're gonna do something a bit more constructive here today. We're gonna analyze it. So this is not a reaction, I've seen it before. I'm just gonna watch it with you and give you my 2 cents on her technique and see where she's at. And I've also heard that she's working on new music, so hopefully in 2022 we'll hear it. I'm gonna turn down the volume on this one because if you've seen it, you know it's loud. She starts off here with a very good belt. It's on a very high note. It's like around maybe an F or a G5. So that's a really high note to hit on a belt like that, to just start out like that. So yeah, good on her for doing that. And then she goes into this little run, little vocal agility, which is like, it's not the cleanest runs I've heard, but it's there, you know? You can hear that she knows a little bit of her scales. But it's just, it lacks sort of a musical or a melodic direction. It sounds like she doesn't know where she wants to land, if that makes sense, or how to get where she wants to land in that phrase, if that makes sense. And when she goes lower into the lower parts of her register, or at least in this phrase, she sort of tenses up a bit. I think she loses her support and starts tensing up here instead, like maybe with her tongue. Sounds a bit tense. So yeah, good belt, but a little wobbly when we go further down in the register. You to know just what I She's very like very tight, if that makes sense. Instead of Do I make sense? I'm sorry, it's late. Sorry, neighbors. So I think it still comes from her being a bit tense, that she's all the way, there. You know, almost like she's pushing her diaphragm the wrong way. It sounds like almost like she's pushing her belly outwards instead of sort of dragging it inwards to support the diaphragm and everything going on. But yeah, one thing I forgot to say is that the first phrase she did, it was also a very long phrase, so that she was a bit wobbly could also have to do with her breath control when she went into her lower register. Anyway, let's just go back a little bit. Good belt. Wobbly. Like, and you can hear that when she goes into her head voice, or falsetto if you will, but yeah, into her head voice. It's a little thin. It's like, whoa, very like, she loses her support there. Very thin, you know? And also on the feel, it was very light. And those runs right there were a little bit sloppy. She's like, she doesn't really hit all the notes. Okay. If you look at her tongue here, her tongue does something weird there. If you look at the footage, her tongue goes like, almost like she's pushing the back of her tongue forwards in a way. It looks weird, and that's what makes it sound a bit pressed as well. But yeah, you can hear that she's got some vocal agility. She does little riffs and runs, so she's got that control. She just needs to work on her tone, and I think she needs to work on her head voice a bit to get a bit stronger and to get those transitions way smoother, you know? And also, people who say that she sings in her real voice, this sounds like the baby voice to me. This is not 100% like her full voice, you know? Just yeah, just lifted, like a lifted larynx, you know? She could talk like this, but she lifts her larynx and it sounds like this, you know, and that's what happens when she sings. Let's just watch. So her vibrato in her lower end of the register, especially when she goes from that high part and down into her lower register, she sounds a bit shaky, and her vibrato is uncontrolled. It comes from like the pressure, and she can't really hold back everything that she's supposed to, you know? What I would love to see Britney work on is, you know, like I said, just work on that head voice a bit to get a fuller sound. It also helps with your chest voice to get a fuller sound. If she does that, she'll also be able to control her transitions better. So it's gonna sound great. But also that tongue sort of worried me a bit. It seems very tense and sort of pushed forward in a weird way. If she can work on that tenseness, if she can work on her head voice a bit, I mean, her agility is there, and you can tell that even though this particular improvisation lacked like melodic direction, you can tell that her scales are there. Like, yeah, just, she's free now. Just let her play around with this. Let her feel free. You know, now she's got this phone, she can film herself singing. It's amazing. Let's just celebrate that. Let's not be mean. Let's support her. And I can't wait to see what kind of music she's gonna do. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I was a huge fan of Britney growing up, so, and I'm still a fan. I'm so glad she's free. Even though this analysis might sound a bit harsh, you know, it's not from a bad place. I just want to analyze why it sounds the way that it does, instead of just going, oh, that sounds awful, or oh, this is Britney's real voice. What is it, you know? Let her just be free. Let her just play around. Let her find her voice again in every sense of that sentence, you know? But yeah, let's also talk about it, because it's nice doing a little bit of vocal analyzing. I rarely do that. I always do reactions, so this was refreshing. And I'm sorry if the audio doesn't work properly. My Cubase decided to not work. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this. I like doing it, so yeah, thank you so much. Like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Leave those little two dancers, the little emoji, if you're still here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!